Hi, I'm Sid and this is my series, The Internet Was a Mistake. Today we're going to be talking about stan culture. So let's start with the definition of a stan. A stan is any fan that is overzealous and maniacal, kind of like a doing too much sort of type. It's based on the character in Eminem's song Stan. This character was obsessed with Eminem and wanted Eminem's attention really badly and kept writing Eminem letters. A modern stan is notoriously overzealous but not necessarily maniacal or inherently maniacal. It's really common for a normal person to be a stan really nowadays, especially I'd say since the rise of Stan XYZ for clear skin. I feel like after I saw that meme everywhere, after I saw people using that meme under their creators, whatever, right, that's when it became like really popular for normal people to call themselves a stan. A lot less maniacal people are starting to feel that sort of overzealous fandom. And at what point does that go too far? A stan notoriously defends their favorite creator despite their flaws, so they overlook their flaws in order to stan them. They're operating on this strange, sort of almost absolute devotion that reminds me, frankly, of cults. While they're operating on this strange sort of absolute devotion, there is this trend of just kind of accepting whatever the creator does. So this like could do no wrong mentality will transfer into like everything the creator does. And that means that if that creator puts out a bad half-baked apology, then those stans are gonna accept it. Like we talked about in my last video, cancel culture is not accountability or social justice. This readiness to accept any kind of apology is not okay at all. And when you engage in that kind of like unwillingness to listen to other people and readiness to forgive someone for really harmful actions when you are not a member of that group is really damaging. So we've seen that if their devotion goes too far, it ravishes the communities that they are in and ruins them. Communities become overtaken by malicious creators that have no other interest other than making money and benefiting off of their fans. These malicious creators see their devotion and take advantage of it. In this video, we're gonna focus specifically on the stan's role in the process. So what is a stan's role in feigning accountability? Stans tend to be of the belief that the creators couldn't do anything wrong, and they would probably need some convincing to believe otherwise. Sometimes the fact that that convincing needs more than receipts is crazy to me. Like the fact that you could see it and not, it's crazy to me. But these people want to believe that they know the person on the other side of the screen because for one reason or another they feel connected to them. For whatever reason, these people keep their creators and their communities from improving. The progress stops with the creator putting out a non-apology and the stans accepting that non-apology. And then any other calls to hold that creator accountable will be met with the cries of cancel culture like we talked about in the last video. When these stans do this, they set a precedent for other manipulative creators to see and then copy. I was having such a hard time reading my script and then I realized, jeez. This has caused the rise of Twitter Notes app apologies and these non-apology YouTube videos or taking accountability YouTube videos. Creators are realizing that if they play their cards correctly, then they don't have to take accountability, they don't have to apologize, and a lot of their fans will just go with it. That's why we're seeing so many accountability issues in the creator community right now. Because of fans' willingness to just ignore problems. An online creator's job is to create and produce content and keep their fans happy. On my profiles, when someone's unhappy with me or my content, they'll usually just unfollow, and I don't get a lot of people like trying to call me out or anything like that because I'm just not a big deal. This kind of just unfollow mentality, this turnover, does exist for these bigger creators, but since there are so many of their fans, people will feel the need to go ahead and say like, hey, you know, I have a problem with XYZ creator because XYZ, and I don't think that that should be met with like cries of cancel culture like the stan community likes to try to do. So even though upset fans will create a public discourse about the issue, inviting other even non-fans to have an opinion on what's going on, stans will stand by the creator. So that makes it hard to get the creator to see that there is a real issue. So we know that stans prevent manipulative creators from being held accountable. What other effects do they have on their communities? A lot of stans are hyper-aggressive in their support, and by being so hyper-aggressive, they make their communities a lot less inclusive. A lot of the time when there's public discourse going on about how a creator has offended a group of people or fans, then stans will dismiss it not only privately, but publicly, which kind of like dismantles the movement of people that are like trying to comment on it and kind of like invalidates it a little bit. Or something else really problematic that they do during those public discourses is that they will forgive the creator on behalf of that group, which is like, if you're forgiving them, I'm almost 100% sure you're not in the offended group. For example, if people of color are mad at a creator for racial insensitivities, a non-person of color should never step in and try to tell a person of color that they've been forgiven for that action, because obviously not if people of color are still upset. So let's talk about how stans think that their support enables them to speak on behalf of entire communities, or on behalf of those fans as a whole. For example, a really common comment under any of the videos that Shane Dawson has been in recently on Ryland's channels is like, oh Shane, just come back to YouTube, like you've been gone long enough and we miss you, type of thing. It's okay to miss your favorite YouTuber, and it's okay to have those kinds of feelings. I don't want to invalidate that at all, but what's really, really weird is you giving them permission to come back, especially when no one sent him on that break. He sent himself on that break. So that's really strange. He took that break supposedly for self-improvement, so you giving him permission to come back. If the break was for self-improvement, if he's not back, he doesn't feel like he has improved enough. Understand that. Because Shane's fans have been so loud, Shane sees their support and knows that he has enough to make a comeback soon. Shane is a calculated guy. He's been using this fan approval to drown out any recent negativity. He has been having Ryland hype up the fan base to post like supportive content so that he can show it to Shane, supposedly. But there's a lot of theories going around the commentary and drama community right now just saying that like what that's really about is drowning out dissent. For a long time, if you came out and said that you supported Shane Dawson, you would probably get some backlash. Like, for the majority of 2020, you would have gotten some backlash. But if you tell all of your stans to post supportive content, then that normalizes people loving Shane again. Or we could think about it kind of in the inverse way. Jeffree Star seems to have a mostly lighter skinned fan base because of the racial insensitivities that he's participated in the past, and the comments and jokes that he's made on both on MindSpace and like just recent photo shoots and stuff like that. I only say that his fans tend to skew light skinned because when Morphe let him go, they put his makeup on sale for super cheap, and it I don't know if it's still in stock. I'll check on Morphe and I'll let you know. It took a really long time, if the makeup did sell out, if his concealer did sell out, to sell out for anything that could be considered a deep skin tone. No one is buying that makeup. That's why they were selling it for like $5 too. But people of color, we know better. Jeffree Star never earned people of color's forgiveness, and because of that, his makeup is not going to be bought by them for any reason, even if it's on sale. People of color never forgave Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star's fans forgave Jeffree Star on behalf of people of color. Manipulative creators will take advantage of Stan's readiness to overlook other people's feelings and ignore calls to hold that creator accountable. This manipulation might occur by them using certain language in their non-apology videos, or by responding to calls of accountability by like attacking other creators or the groups that are trying to hold them accountable. I wish I could say something about how we can make this situation better, but I honestly don't know. I don't know why people stand creators to the extent that they do. I truly don't understand it. It's quite strange and cultish behavior. Unconditional love is extremely problematic. There is never any situation, except for maybe like if it's your kids. I think you're allowed to unconditionally love your kids, but I don't think that you're allowed to unconditionally love creators. That's wrong. But because I don't understand it, I wouldn't really know how to approach it at all, or let alone talk to someone into not standing somebody. I have no idea how you would go about that. I would imagine that it would take a lot of patience and likely proof of your claims. And if you're arguing with a stan and you've already shown them proof and they're still arguing with you, the best thing to do might be disengage, because if receipts aren't enough, nothing will be. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video or you like me, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, because this is a series and I do have many more videos just like this one coming very soon. And don't forget to leave a comment, because I do actually respond to every single comment. How do you feel about stans? Do you think that this thing that Shane is doing, having his fans post, do you think that's a publicity stunt? I do. Did you ever forgive Jeffree Star, or were you ever like mad at Jeffree Star? What's your feeling? Because we did bring him up. And exactly how aware of stan culture do you believe these manipulative creators are? Because that's what this video was mostly about. And like, obviously, you know, I think they're very, very aware of it, and I think they play into it. But what do you think? That's important. Alright guys, thanks again. Bye-bye.